You can look, you can stare, you can even take a picture. Cause what I hope I say it will stick with you. God has been in my life. He's done plenty to let you all know that he's still up in me. Been me since the day of birth. Now I know what it's worth. Now I know the reason why I really walk this earth. To spread this gospel. My mother is an apostle. I gotta do this thing while there's breath in my nostrils. Cause what you see is what you get. God is working on me, and he ain't even finished working yet. He's ordered my steps, and I'm waiting on delivery. Without his grace and mercy, I know that he's forgiven me for all my sins and all my shortcomings. Even when I hung out with the wrong type of friends. Cause I'm the apple of his eye. No need to deny, and I know one thing, he will supply.
He'll make a way. He'll make a way. I know. I'll make a way. I don't know where.
Cause you don't know where he's brought me from. He woke me up this morning, put breath in my lungs, guided me with mercy and grace. And when I fell off track, he always put me back in the race. He whispered in my ear, I'll never leave us. And I'm talking about the one they call Jesus, the one that was in the Bible, who read the Bible, and after just preaching, it just went viral. The best in the business, God is my witness, open many doors right off the engine. He's ordered my steps, and I'm waiting on delivery. Without his grace and mercy, I know that he's forgiven me for all my sins and all my shortcomings. Even when I hung out with the wrong type of friends, cause I'm the apple of his eye. No need to deny, and I know one thing, he will provide.
He'll make a way. He'll make a way. Out of nowhere. He'll make a way. I know. He'll make a way.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not front. He gives me everything I need and everything I want. He supplies my needs when my cup gets empty. Even when the devil even tried to tempt me. I had a calling on my life, I couldn't run. I couldn't be like the prodigal son because he picked me up, turned me round, then he planted my feet on solid ground. Cause when I think of the goodness and all that he's done, I can't keep quiet cause I ain't no none. Because I walk by faith, not by sight. Because he bottled up my tears when I cried at night. To let me know that my work's not in vain. Through my trials and tribulations, I must explain his he'll come through with no delay. I'm here to tell y'all that he'll make a way.
He'll make a way. He'll make a way. He'll make a way. I don't know where. He'll make a way. He'll make a way. He'll make a way. I know he will. I don't know where. He'll make a way. Yes, he will. He'll make a way. He'll make a way. I don't know where. Sing, Bishop. Okay. Well, praise the Lord, House of Deliverance, and those of you that are on Facebook and YouTube. We want to say good morning to you. Thank the Lord for another day. Thank God for his life, health, and strength. Grateful, amen, for what the Lord is doing. Knowing that he has a plan. He has a plan, and it's a good plan for those of us that will obey him and abide in him. Amen. And I am just so grateful for the Lord. This is... I don't know which way I'll say this, but if it ends up somewhere else, just realize that the Lord is really just having his way. But we want to deal with, and I want to just really teach you something to keep you encouraged, because it is something about giving your life to the Lord, and it is something about obeying the Lord, and it is something about you being misunderstood about what the Lord has told you to do, what the Lord has told you to say. So we want to realize, and I want to encourage you, because there are tests in life is that there's going to be tests that you're going to take. And those of you that there's a book, and it's called The Making of Leaders, and it's by Frank Damazio. Get that book. It really helps you. It really helps you when what have I done wrong? What have I said wrong? Why am I going through this? Oh God. God is making you. And in this life, whether you saved or not saved, there are tests you're going to go through. And I'm going to just share some of them with you, but we're just going to deal with two of them today. And we're going to deal with the misunderstanding test and the frustration test. Like, okay, well, what is all this about? Where am I? And we're going to deal with this. And it's not so much it's the devil, because we have to understand that this God that we serve you'd say, I have good days and bad days. He said, and I've set one over the other. And you're going to go through frustration tests, and you're going to go through being misunderstood by your friends, by your loved ones, by the saints, by your husband, by your flesh. You're gonna go through this. So what we're gonna really just kind of center on this morning is the misunderstanding test. I'm going to deal with that one. But I just want you to, if you really get this book, it's really going to bless you, because sometimes you just say, what have I done wrong? Even in your marriage, what have I done wrong? With your friends, what have I done wrong? But it's something that God is letting happen, and it's called a misunderstanding test, okay? And you're going to go through this. And when I first got saved, and I was encouraged, and I encourage you, and I mean, we really just, God, I love you, and I love you, but it's just like, there's some things you're going to go through. There's some tests that I'm going to send your life, and there's going to be a purpose of it. But I hope this would just help you to understand if you're going through, and it's a hard place, it's really, but it talks about the test of time, the word test, the character test, the motivated test, the servant test, the wilderness test, the misunderstanding test, the patient test, the frustration test, the discouragement test, the warfare test, the self-will test, the vision test, and the uses test. Get this book. It would really help you when you just, when your friend maybe that you used to could talk to, and just all understanding that comes a misunderstanding. And it does come, and it's not the devil, and it comes among saved people, and it comes where things will just happen. And I really want you to understand that. And we're gonna let's go into the book of Acts, the 15th chapter, and we're dealing with the misunderstanding test. Because I there was some terrible things that was said about me when I first got saved, and God started moving me into my personal life concerning because you're gonna even if it, well, I'm just gonna share some things with you. Even when I had believed the Lord to be married, and when I met the person that the Lord wanted me to marry, I went through with some close friends that was saying some, and I want to let you know, one of the hardest burden to bear is being misunderstood by other people. It's the hardest burden to bear. Really, when you're misunderstood, when your intentions, I didn't mean that, and you're going to go through this, and I don't want you to kind of like, we're going to share where the friendship or whatever can be bond back together, and then sometimes you're just going to have to go your separate ways. Okay, so I want you to understand that. But let's go into the book of Acts, and this is a test. You can't run from it. You can't. You can start out, and I mean it hits relationships, friendships, church folks, whatever, and they're tests. And I want to just really encourage you to buy his book, really, because it's what did I say? The 15th chapter, and we're talking about them, and we, if the Lord will permit us to live and see Friday, if he permits me to do this, I'm saying this, but if he changes it, we're going to deal with the frustration test, like like what? And it's not, I know we want to run from it, but when we find out that all of this has something to do I'm telling you, I got so much stuff up here. 15th chapter of the book of Acts. And let's go to the 37. And this happens among saved people. And so I don't want you to kind of, and it's a hard place because it's times you're going to have to go your separate ways. It's times you're going to have to just say, okay, I hear what you're saying. And it's one of the hardest burden to bear in being misunderstood by other people. And I want you to let you know it's not the devil. It's a test. And it's a test that you might be facing now, or you're going to go through. I'm just so misunderstood. And I am. When the Lord first called me to minister, and I never forget it, and he said, woe, and I never forget it, says, woe be unto them that go back into Egypt for help. And my pastor, and he stood up behind me. He said, Sister Eva, you need to sweep in front of your own front door. And I was about to just say, you know what? And our church had a basement, and I just, in front of everybody, and I'm like, God knows what did I? And I sought the Lord. This was the message He gave me, and I gave it. And I went to the basement of the church, and the Lord, and this is where the Lord spoke to me. He said, if you're going to stand boldly for me, you're not going to have a whole lot of friends. So you're going to go through misunderstandings. You might meet somebody and they might, somebody say, she just wants you for this. Oh, she did. They just trying to take over. So this is a hard burden to bear. This is really going to, you're just putting on, or you want to be seen. But this is something, and there's a purpose for it. And this is where God wants us to learn to endure hardness as good soldiers, really. I've been going through, and you're going to go through, really. And it's life. I don't want you to just figure it's somewhere you can go and hide. It's somewhere you can just, it'll come in your marriage, in your friendship. It's a test. It's called a misunderstanding test. Everybody go through. It's just like everybody. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember Dr. Buffon. In this area that we're in. And Dr. Buffon brought a lot of technology, a lot of surgical procedures, and he was misunderstood. It was just like, oh no, we don't do things that way. And he was bringing in new technology. He was misunderstood, for what little I know. I know because he was my doctor, but he was a man that was really just bringing in something new. You might go through a misunderstanding with your children. They're not babies anymore. Who they marry, who they whatever, just like that. But this is a test for everybody. So I want you to be able to brace yourself. And it's one of the hardest burden to really bear. But in Acts, the 15th chapter, and let's go to the 37th verse. And this is Barnabas. These are two preachers doing a great work for God. So I want to let you know when this go on, and even there's a scripture say, as much as in you, try, and if it be possible. Romans 12, 17, and 18. It says, if possible, try to be at all peace with all men. And when you start obeying God, when you start, well, Lord, I didn't mean it that way. Even when you're going through, if you're going through something, and we can talk about some tests, but we're going to deal. If the Lord would permit me, we're going to really deal with the frustration test. God, why is my life turn out like that? But anyway, in the book of Acts, the 15th chapter, and let's go to the 37th verse. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark, but Paul thought not good to take him with them, who departed from the, y'all know, and went not into them to the work. And the contention was so sharp between them, such a misunderstanding. So I don't want you to just start, you of the devil, this goes on. This is a test. And I think when we begin to get knowledge of some things, we won't be so able to just, you the devil, I don't like you no more. Your marriage, who you gonna marry, it's like, people will just like, the girl just wants you. I went through that. She just wants you for your money. You didn't have any. I mean, saints can say some things. They go busy about it. Other men. These are tests. So I want you, and the Bible say, my people are destroyed. And the devil can take this misunderstanding test and make you just bring a division in your marriage and your friendship. But this is a test. And there's a purpose for it. And it is of God. Whether you save or not saved, you're going to have a misunderstanding test when you say, what did you say? Well, I thought you meant, and I want to share some things with, how do I respond, Apostle? How do I act to this? How do I, and there's times you might have to leave, you have to separate. I'm for real, but it says, and the contention, the 39th verse of Acts 15 and 39, and the contention, the friction was it was sharp. It was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from another. And so Barnabas took Mark and sailed to Cyprus. So it's just the idea that it might have to take you to, but it's a test. It's not that Barnabas had a demon and Paul had a demon. It's just that this is something, and you're going to have to learn to go through this test. And I just hope this teaching will kind of like take the bitterness out, because when you go through something, God wants you to be better, not bitter. But you're going to go through misunderstanding on your job. I don't care what it's that. You don't have to be saved. This is something that you're really going to have to, and we're going to have to learn how to settle things. And they just left. They just say, look, no, I don't think you should take. Well, wait a minute, how you think that this went on? So we want to kind of get through this and I don't know why this frustration test keep hanging on me, but whatever, we'll just deal with this. Get this book. It really help you. Really, I was just praying and I said, Lord, what to feed your people? And I was just laying and praying this. But we're going to deal with misunderstanding test, and it will flare up. And God just wants you to learn how do I deal with this. So one of the hardest, where am I at? One of the hardest burden to bear is being misunderstood by other people. All of us at one point or another experience looking into the eyes of another person and realize that he or she simply does not see us the way we see ourselves and probably never will. How you respond to being misunderstood would be the difference between spending a good deal of time trying to correct other people, or being free to carry on with your life no matter what other thinks. And this is what you're going to have to do. Because when I met the man that the Lord said, okay, it's time for you to be married. And I said, okay, there were, my closest friend still is, said some things that I cannot repeat. But they were very ugly. These phones. But anyway, it was just so, and I'm like saying, how could you say that? When I knew, and I'm going to tell you something, when you are led by God, when God permits something to happen in your life, you're going to have friends, you're going to have people close to you, it's a test. It's a test. And whether the friendship can go on, because my friendship with this person is still going on. We're still friends. But and it's one of the hardest burden to bear is to be misunderstood by other people. It hurts. It's painful. Hear me. Misunderstanding tests are painful. It hurts. Okay? So how you respond to being misunderstood would be the difference between spending a good deal of time trying to correct the other person. Now you can waste your time. Just let me explain. And they can look at you not talking, still say, I just feel. But you can carry on. You can really, because they misperceive that, or you can be free and carry on with your life no matter what others think. So that's what we want to be able to get you to carry on no matter. Because two of my precious friends, things they said, one came back and apologized. They say, well, I just want to let you know, that wasn't God, that was just me. And I just think about the years, 15 years later. So I believe God don't want us to waste any more time for what He's already predestinated us. plan for us, the way we talk, the way we act, the way we, whatever. You want to be able to really go on and enjoy your life, really. Because there's something that showed up on my page this morning, and I said it, and it says, don't compare yourself, enjoy yourself. Okay, because I'm just me. I'm just Eva, and I love this girl, and I just take care of this girl, and I talk the way I talk, I walk the way I walk, I look the way, hey, come on. And you're going to be misunderstood. You know, there's a young lady she's like a daughter to me. And a mother, before she passed, she told me, she said, would you please take care of her? Beautiful girl. Still is. I mean, beautiful inside and outside. But her body, the way, I mean, it was just like 38, 24. And she kept saying, she said, Mama, I just want a man to just love me for me. Not all of this exterior. Really. I just want to be, and it's been, well, she's been just misunderstood. I mean, you can look good, smell good, and be misunderstood. Oh, she after my man. Oh, she this. It's things where you're going to be misunderstood just showing up. Really. Being misunderstood is 4 ways to really just look at this. There is, and this is something you're going to have to do to get through this, because you can just make it. Oh, Apostle, I made it through that miss. How long they last, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I literally stood side the grave, and this lady had the nerve to walk up to me and said, "I just know you were going to put him away nice." Kids, let me tell y'all something. I went from standing there and saying, is this really happening? To just looking at her and say, if you don't be quiet, I'm going to push you in this hole. You're going to be misunderstood no matter what you do. But and you got to be able to go on in life. You're going to have to learn, Apostle, how do I deal with this? How do I have to just like, because if you get in the flesh and deal with it, it's going to make you bitter. But you want to be better. Because, you can just, man, it's like I had, and the Lord opened a door. I never forget. My first brand new car, 1977 Mercury Cougar, sports car. Man, I'm telling you, church folks. Oh, Sister Eva just went to the pastor, and she just said she had death in her family. And that's how she got that car. But I kept going, building the church and doing what I was just misunderstood. I remember a song about, I went to this church, and this is time we had testimonies in the church, and this song, and I was singing it the other day, and after I finished singing it, and the Lord moved, the pastor got up and he said, look, don't be singing that song, it sounds worldly. God moved. It blessed my soul. You're going to be misunderstood. And the Lord wants to just help us to, and this is a test. I don't know. And I'm learning the older I get, child, be still. I run, I ain't going, because it hurts. It's a burden. It hurts when you're doing something because you really love this person. You really care about this person. Your love is shown in things that you do, and you're being misunderstood. Oh, what you want? You act nice. What's up? You're praying and you're obeying God, and you're being misunderstood. But it's just the idea that the Lord wants you, the person that he's created, he formed you, he made you to look whatever color you are, your hair, your hips, your lips, whatever, you're going to be misunderstood. Really. And God just want to teach us today, how do I deal? You're you. And you need to be able to not try to correct people, but you need to be able to free and to carry on with your life no matter what others think of you. I have. Wow. Really. And this is going to happen. And like you just read in the book of Acts, it's going to happen among sane people. Really. But you got to be able to, and it is, hear me before you go, it is one of the hardest burden to bear. But it's a test. You're going to go through misunderstanding tests, frustration tests, word tests, patience tests. But you got to be able to go on and not be ugly. And it hurts, and it's going to take you a while to hear me. It's going to take you a while to cry, to pray, and you're going to have to learn we got to do something with you, because you can just pick a sword that's trying to get healed, and you keep picking it and it spreads. So we're going to take this word today that this doesn't spread, that you can take that energy with some wisdom, with some knowledge for you to just say, because I can't explain myself to people. Well, I remember one time when I've been misunderstood a lot. Well, you preach like you got a bad childhood. I'm a new creature. What are you talking about? And it took the word of God to really help me to go on. I brought you out of the world. I'll save you. Don't go back. Because with this thing being misunderstood, you can go back in the flesh. You can go back and start wrestling with flesh and blood, really. But you want to be able, because I don't believe God has kept us alive, really. He has not kept us alive, to just, woe is me, child, look, you don't like me? You misunderstand me. I don't know why you wear that red hair. I don't understand. You're a preacher. Child goes, I was misunderstood because I moved here and I was wearing little pearl earrings and sunglasses. Well, I don't think she a preacher, because the preacher ain't supposed to be, well, I got this sun down. I'm serious, silly, stupid stuff. But hey, you want to be able to just go on, and no matter what others think of you. Being misunderstood, there's 4 ways to respond instead of react. Because you get misunderstood. Who you? No. You don't want to use the pulpit. You don't want to use God's word. You don't want to kind of talk about your mother-in-law. You don't want to talk about your child, because when you're misunderstood, I've been there. It's a hard place, and and you can say some things and do some things and and mess up your whole life. But you got to learn how to deal with this. You got to learn you love your husband and you love your friends and you love God, and you're going to have to learn how to keep that intact and go on. You have kids, you misunderstand, they all, they don't, you sometimes say, where your children come from? Where that mind come from? You just, it's just like you got to learn how to go on, because it's a test. It's a test, people of God. It's a test, folks of you that are not saved. And I don't I thought it's life. Okay. So there are 4 ways to respond instead of react. Practice to discipline is not having the last word. That's where I've learned to be quiet, because you can feel it. You can feel it even when people don't talk. You can feel it in their response, their reactions, their this and that. But you got to be able to go on. Really, they're and I love her dearly. I love Sister Alice. I love her. God knows I love her. And I literally had to tell myself that she's a little chatterbox. But you know what? There's times I need to hear that. There's times when it gets so, I say, Sister, but she comes in and she say, I do this to keep me up. We got different personalities. We got different ways we talk. We're quiet. We're this, we're that. But you got to go on, because you are you, and there's nothing wrong with you. Anything that's wrong with you, God said, I will perfect that concerning you. That's not for other people. Hello? Me, Minister Thompson say, sometimes, Apostle, we be talking and you'll go off somewhere in some deep way, and we will say, oh. Minister Thompson is, I'm telling you, strong woman. And it's and the saints know I work on. She's our prophet. You have to go on. We can't spend no more time trying to work on one another. We need to go on and enjoy our life. And Barnabas say that was sharp contention. And I tell you, if the Bible say if possible, I think we just read it. Romans 12:17. If possible, if I can get along with you, and I can't, boy, bye. Bye. You got a life to live. This is a test. Everybody ain't gonna speak well of you. Everybody ain't gonna like you. People gonna hate you without a cause. I don't know. And God done told us, don't go busy about another men's matters. But this is life. This is life. And you have, so practice to discipline. This is talking about you now. Leave other people alone. Because people still talking, I don't like her. She's too hard. She's too bold. She shouldn't say that. She shouldn't do that. She miss Richie Rich. She this. Look how she dressed. Look how she acts. She thinks she cute. She like, I've been here a long time on this earth, and I want to enjoy my life. Hello, I don't need you when I'm sick and well. She said I could have that. Wait a minute. Didn't you talk about that? Didn't you misunderstood that and now you want it? Really? I was misunderstood when I came in, just wearing little pearl earrings. And before I know it, I look around. Well, I don't think we Christians, before I know you had something in your ear. Some people can get on the bandwagon, and some people just can misunderstand you. Man, you enjoy your life. God will perfect those things. He'll take care of that. But you got to practice the discipline of not having the last word. Did it say practice? Yep. Probably next week you say, here she come. I get that. I mean, I walk, and I know what I've done. I've distanced myself. Since you're going to look at me, I'm going to give you something to look at. Watch how I dress. You won't be laughing at me. You already don't like me, whether I look good or not good. This is a test. This is life. And let me show you some things where God's going to take care of some things. God. So practice the discipline of not having the last word. Okay? Practice the discipline of humility. And that's a low view of one's own. What's important? You pleasing God? You're going on. Let people say what they want. Really? So you practice the discipline of civility. That's mean a formal politeness and courtesy in your behavior and your speech. And practice discipline wisdom. Really. That third one, Minister Thompson, is civility, Civility. Practice that. And what I do is you can tell when you hit the atmosphere. You can tell. I don't, it's just like, it's just like, I think Sister Timmer was telling me about Brother Harrah. She said he had killed a snake. And he said, looked like the snake looked at him and said, you're not going to kill me. He said, yes, I am. Just stay right there. Yes, I am. Really. And sometimes you can just look at people and you just know, here we go. Here we go. I mean, you can just, I've had people say, what you doing here? And then they turn around and say, and how long you going to be here? I'm going to be here a minute. I've learned how to discipline because I know this is a war. I know this is someone that has misunderstood my actions, and I can't help what you think of me. You can't help what somebody think of you. You got to be able to go on, and you've got to discipline yourself to really not have the last word. Really? I mean, it was just like, I mean, it was so ugly when I started moving into the things of God that this she's my friend, still my friend today, to say such, all you doing is just, I said, no, I'm obeying God. So these are things you're going to have to practice. What does it mean when someone is misunderstood? If you describe someone or something as misunderstood, you mean that person do not understand them and have a wrong impression or idea of them. That's your impression. That's your idea of me. That's you. Your husband can just say, that's a misunderstanding. All you're doing is spending money. And they don't know. There's no money to spend. I'm stretching it here. Okay, you might see me with something, but you don't know how I got it. You don't know if someone gave it to me. Hello? And we got to discipline. And hear me when I tell you, it's one of the hardest burden to bear in being misunderstood by other people. And you want to be able to go on, enjoy your life, really, and look at, and it's not the devil, it's not that church, and it's read it in Acts. Barnabas and Paul, they had sharp contention I don't think you should go. Well, I'm going, and da 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 da. And they had to just, sometimes you got to just depart. But you want to be able to get through this test. Really. I mean, there was things said. That thing's going to be said by you obeying God, by you doing what God say, by you just being you. And anything that's wrong with you, God will perfect it. Okay. Solving misunderstanding. Talk. Sometimes it's good to talk. Okay. Let me, I don't want to get ahead of myself in something, but I want you to really read something. And I want you to be very careful. You know, sometimes it's good to talk. The Lord has taught me about, and this is something we have to learn, how not to, how can I say this? Not to get in a fight that's not mine, but just be a listener. Not to just, okay, that person misunderstand you, but I don't want to get, I want to listen. I want to talk. Sister Alice and I had a relationship a long time ago that I would talk to her about people. And I say, I want you to understand, I'm talking about a spirit. Because there come a time when you misunderstood, God will have you to talk. And God knows he will. And this is solving. This has helped to solve this misunderstanding. You know, there's times God will tell me to be quiet. There's times God will tell me, don't share that to people that believe in this person. They just misunderstand you, but they believe in this person. It's wisdom. Didn't we just say practice discipline of wisdom? Okay. Don't feel sorry for yourself. If you feel sorry for yourself, you prevent the misunderstanding to be resolved. If you keep just feeling sorry for yourself, you're going to cause it to dissolve, and it's going to infest you. It's going to just make you not trust people that really in your corner, people that's really, really for you. Really. This is the misunderstanding. And we're dealing with solving it. Give it a counter. Give it a time to give and to respond to a misunderstanding. Just kind of like, wait until you can talk about it. Because it was just like, it was sharp contentions between Barnabas and Paul. And they just say, I think we need to be quiet and just go your way. And maybe you need to talk about it, because the Bible say, if your brother has offended you, go to your brother and talk to your brother. We don't see that type of stuff going on, really. And I'm going to tell you something the wisdom in my life, I have learned that if I'm being misunderstood, if prayer does not change you, but if prayer does not help me to deal with it, that I'm still funny towards you, then we got to talk. But sometimes wisdom will tell you, just pray about it. And before you know it, you'll be able to bear it. It's a test. And it's and like I told you earlier, it's the hardest test to bear is being misunderstood. And there's times where I just say, should I say something? And there's times I pray and I'm praying about the hurt. I'm praying about, because if you go and talk when it hurts, and you might say more than one, and you need to talk, because see, if you bottled it up, there's some stuff I bottled up that when I did talk about it, too much came out. So God will teach you how to use wisdom. And with my life, it's like I pray about it, even with my children, even with whatever, I pray about. And if the prayer doesn't help me to bear it, to maybe not say nothing, to maybe to say something, then what you have to do, you have to counter, interact, to give a response to the misunderstanding. We need to talk. Husband, honey, we need to talk. You can tear up what you're building up in a relationship if you don't talk, because you misunderstood. And I mean, just man, those of you especially, God needs to do something with your temper. Because when you hear something and you angry, and you love people more than you love me, and you don't, and no, honey, that ain't so. Yes, it is. You got to leave that alone. You got to really leave that alone, and just pray. You've got to don't worry. And this is to help you to really to just you got, because if you don't learn how to deal with being misunderstood, you're going to lose a lot. That's going to be an opportunity for the devil to rob you. Because number one, if you need to talk, talk. Number two, if you need to respond, respond. Prayer don't do it. Talk about it. You get the worrying. I think doing the prayer that takes some, and you can't keep dwelling on this misunderstanding. And that's why when saints meet, you feel this little flickering. You still feel that little stuff still going on. Because there's something went on that either you talked about, because it's going to take a minute. This ain't something Alakazam turn around 3 times, hop, 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 hop. No. Because it's just like it comes in such a place of people you like, people you work with, people you love. And don't let it come between friends and mothers and husbands. And that's a place where you got to sleep with them, look at them, talk to them. It's just like, And I must tell, because I tell men, folks, don't never take an angry woman out to eat. That ain't gonna get it. I teach the men. I say, let it cool off. If y'all can't talk about it, honey, I'll make some apology. Don't be doing all that stuff. Because, honey, I'm gonna tell you something. You would rather go eat by yourself. So you gotta, don't dwell on the misunderstanding. And you know what? Oh God, don't suspect that maybe the person don't know. Maybe you need to talk about it since it's bothering you that bad. I want you to go to the book of Job. And I want you to look at the book of Job, Job 1, because whenever you're going through a misunderstanding test, because and let me tell you something, I've tried in my life to explain, I'm doing this for us. I try to explain in my life, saints, we need to do this. I try to explain, well, why? And I mean, it hurts. It's a burden to carry. Job, one thing about being misunderstood, where am I? Is Job 2 and 9. Because Job's wife began to tell him, Job, I see why I can't see what I'm doing. Job 1 and 22. Because Job was misunderstood, because his wife, she this is the way she handled it. So don't count the girl out, really. Job 1 and 22, and it says, I'm trying to see where I'm at. Job 1. And y'all know what Job went through. And Job say, in all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. Because when you go through a misunderstanding, you will charge God foolishly. And especially when it tells us in Job 2 and 9, he said, then said his wife, doest thou shall retain the integrity, curse God and die. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women. See, he was practicing keeping his integrity. He was practicing keeping, he said, and it said, the 10th verse says, Job 2 and 10, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one that foolish woman speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? And this all he did. He said, so it's like, y'all, just because we're saved, just because you're married, just because that's your best friend, just because, man, your intentions are good, you're still going to be misunderstood. It's a test. It's a test. And I want you to see something. Let's go in Job 42. And this is, this is a series. And like I tell you, if the Lord will permit me, because there are some tests that we've got to go through. The time test. When, Lord, when? And he knows you're getting older. He knows. And we got to go through the time test. We got to wait. Really. So it's just the idea that in Job 42, Job, for friends, was most, Job's friends are one of the best examples of misunderstanding between God and people. They believed that God was punishing Job for his grave sin, After 7 years of silence, after 7 days of silence, in a series of speeches, they poured out cruel accusation on a friend who was suffering beyond imagination. Lord, I'm obeying you. Why are they doing this? I mean, when I had to leave the South and come north, I didn't get a good sending off. The pastor called me before the church, and they said, well, let us all just tell Sister Eva goodbye. And it wasn't where they believed me. And it's times where people ain't going to believe you. It's just time for you to do what you do. And he whispered in my ear, if anything go wrong, know that you have somewhere to come back to. Man, I'm just trying to clear my head to find out if this God. I done bang my head, and people done gave their opinion. And people are going to sit around you and give you your opinion, and you don't even understand yourself. Job said, I can't charge God foolishly. I don't know what I wasn't there when him and the devil had the conversation. Time, I bet I'll do this to Job and this, that. And sometimes you just even ask the Lord, what is happening to me? You don't know the conversation that God has had between the devil. You don't know what the Lord say this test is for. It's just a test. Because sometimes I ask the Lord, what in the world? It's a test. And God just want to teach you how to just. You can't explain yourself. I went through with this. God had dealt with me about this person. He told me, stay away. I said, stay. And I seen him one day. And I said, let me stop and say hello. Let me tell y'all something. When I walked up to him, you know what the Lord spoke to me? What are you doing here? And this person to this day can't stand my guts. Saved. I'm saved, they saved. She ain't nothing but the devil. She this and she that. Have nothing good to say about it. Nothing. And you have to go on. There's some people that you work that between you and God. And Job just sit there. He said, I don't know what he say. For 7 days, he did not say nothing. Children gone, this gone, wife talking crazy. And we're going to talk about the frustration test. We need to deal with it. Because we got to keep thinking it's all the devil. Just because it feels bad. Even with Joseph, you can read it. What Job just say, let me tell you something. He said, y'all didn't do this. All this stuff that happened to me and everything. He said, it was God. It was God and we got to see God in these tests. We've got to wait till this corona, whatever. It's frustration. It's a test. He still loves us. We're trying, and God just he sees it. But we've got to learn, how do I get through this? I don't know. Maybe if the Lord, I don't know. I keep hearing frustration. We might go into that a little bit because I'm about almost through with this right here. But you have to learn to go on. You go into that church with that crazy woman, but I'm saved, Ma. I'm not the person, and it's blessed my life and this and that. You have to literally just go on. Literally. And it says, after 7 days of silence in a series of speeches, they poured out cruel accusation on a friend who was suffering beyond imagination. The friends of Job wanted him to repent by faking repentance, which had simply proven that the devil was right. Had Job fake repented to get his health and wealth back, it would have proved that he feared God for something. The question was, did Job fear God for naught? Did he love the gifts more than the giver? The theology of Job's friends was another version of really prosperity gospel. Now, right now, we're just doing this misunderstanding test. Well, turn to the left and sow this and do that and that. We got to go through. Well, Lord, I don't understand. Lord, I don't understand. I need a job. Lord, I don't understand. I need this. Oh, Lord, we got to get through this. We got to go on, and we got to keep just giving him up in all things. In all things, how I'm going to make it. In all things, we got to discipline ourselves, even between this misunderstanding that has hit the world. I literally, I'm going through a waiting test, a patient test. Oh God, I tell you, this thing could go from one side to the other, but we're going to deal with this today, really, and it hurts. Job was already hurt. I had my children gone. I got a crazy woman talking over. Now I got these friends. And I'm going to show you what you got to be careful of. Let me show you how God's going to bring us through this. Really. And God even, he's going to bless after this. Y'all know the story. We all accept good things that happen to good people and bad things that happen to bad people. But the reality is far more complex than the simple version of theology. It's not only why good people suffer, but how good people respond to suffering is the wisdom of the book of Job. How do good people suffer? How do good people go through misunderstanding? How do good people sit in the midst of married to a woman and being misunderstood and sitting among my friends and listening to them? You done something. You done something. And even you'll even convict yourself. You done something. You done. If you would have done this, if you would have said this, if you would have da. The righteous man Job was put to the ultimate love test. We all put our relationship to the test. We do not want people to praise us. We do not want people to praise us, love us, and honor us to get something out of us. We want to be valued and loved for who we are rather than what we possess. Had Job loved God only and wealth and health, then God wasn't of much worth to him. True love needs to go through trials and tests. You love God? Love your husband, love your wife, love your friends. They're going to go through tests. And it hurts. It's a burden. And it's something you have to bear. Yes, sir. You're trying to help your children. You're trying to, and because it's just like y'all saints know. I'm talking to the saints now. When you tell them children pay their tithes, child just look like you become enemies. Pay no tithe, and you're being misunderstood, and whatever you're going through y'all mind, well, honey, you should leave that girl alone, because I'm telling you, you'll find out who's this talking. You're misunderstood. It's a part of a woman. I'm gonna tell you something. Children and men, folks, God made your mama, your wife, and your friends sensitive. Women are sensitive. Men, you have your characteristics. Man, you're strong and you're bold, but you need help. You need to think. I was sharing with my son. I said, let me tell you something. I will always be your mother. And I will always sense that gal, them friends, them whatever, and you do that. And you cannot help if you get misunderstood and they keep going that way and you didn't talk, that's a test. They're gonna come back and be your friends. Believe me. They're going to come back and tell my mom, tell me I left my best friend for a no good. It's life. It's life. Even getting older, man, we get misunderstood, man. I go to the doctor sometime and they said, are you here with no? I'm here. And you what? It's just like, yeah, and you don't, it's like I go to the doctor and it's just like, well, Miss Thompson, we figure at this age you should be taking. I say, for what? You looking at my age, and then you go sit into, well, what your mom and daddy died of? Be honest with you, I don't know. So you figure I got it? I thank the Lord. What Pastor Shirley was, she said, don't give anybody all that power. Don't give any doctor all that power. You should know, but man, please, since you black, we all got diabetes. You black because we got high blood pressure. Well, honey, let me tell you something. We all but you got to go on with your life. You can't let people just put you in a box. God has created you to enjoy life on this side and that side. And you cannot. True love needs to go through tests. God was testing Job, not punishing him. The friends of Job, instead of comforting him, accused him, misunderstood about God's lead, misunderstood about others. It is never without consequence. In this sense, ignorance is never a blessing. They sit and they talked about Job. But if you look at, let me see something, Job. If you look at the latter part, the 42nd chapter of the book of Job, when God had dealt with Job and he began to tell him, he said, Job, I know you, but where were you? He's here with us. He's got, and I keep telling myself, you got a plan, you got a purpose. You got to discipline yourself to wisdom if you're waiting. You have to discipline yourself if you're going through a frustration test. Lord, every little dime I get is out of the door. And everything I get, Lord, I'm trying. And I need this and I need. It's frustrating. It's really. But we got to God say, I'm your beginning and your end. Really. And it doesn't, and don't go back and everybody's hitting everybody. But he began to tell Job, and God's going to bring you to that place where he's going to bemoan you, that he's going to bless you, and he's going to keep done it for Job. And Job had to sit in the midst, in this test of misunderstanding. His friends sit there for days. If you have to read all of Job, because each one had their say. But when it came to the end of this, and when I went through this thing with my friend for 15 years, and she had shared with me, she said, the Lord say for you not to for you not to get married. I said, but God, because you're not the author of confusion. God doesn't give everybody all that personally right in your life. He said, let every man be persuaded by his own mind. He didn't give all that to somebody. God don't even show a prophet everything. It's scripture. But it's just, you can't even explain it. That's why sometimes, the Lord say, and I've learned through life, if you say the Lord say, I be quiet. Unless he tell me different, I don't know. But the Bible tells us in Job's 42, it says, and it was so after the 7th verse, but you can read all of it. But first he dealt with Job, and he said, and then, let's go there, 41, 42 and 1. And Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withheld from thee. Who is he that counsel without knowledge? Therefore have I uttered that I understood not, things too wonderful for me, which I knew not. And he began to just tell Job, say, I didn't I misunderstood. Why you? But his friends, the 7th verse, so, and it was so that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to him, there go all his friends. He said, my wrath is kindled against thee and against thy 2 friends, for you have not spoken of me the things that is right, and as my servant Job has. Therefore, take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to thy servant Job, and offer them up for yourself and a burnt offering, and my servant Job shall pray for you, for him I will accept, lest I deal with you after your folly, and in that you have not spoken of me the things which is right. God's going to take care of all these people. You got to hold on to. You in this too. And the Bible say, and when the Lord and as his friends, they went and did according as the Lord commanded them, and the Lord also accepted Job. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much. We're going to get through this. And you have to pray, and you have to use those things that you got to practice discipline. You have to practice not to have the last word. There's things I'm dealing with. And when it, I can walk through a place of misunderstanding, and these tests can all be all mixed up, waiting, I remember when I was believing God to be married. But where is he? I don't see no man. I ain't see one either. Really. I'm dealing with something now that I don't understand it, but I'm there. I'm like, how did this happen? But you got to realize you've been redeemed. You've been bought with a price. You don't own yourself anymore. And what takes me through, I discipline myself. I have to speak truth. I have to admit this is going on. This is in my heart. I don't understand why. I mean, you have to really, and there has to be a humility. It has to be a view of one's own importance. What's important? You enjoying your life, not going to hell. What's important? If you're not saved, give your life to God. What's important? I don't know. I mean, come on, you got a mind. You can call it a conscience. I don't care. Red beans, something you drank or ate. He made you. Really. And sometimes I know I was so misunderstood when I gave my life to the Lord, because I was out there doing, because I even say, man, somebody done slipped me some bad drugs. What I'm doing got a mind and won't go to church. Me? And I'm gonna be, and when I say this, I want y'all to, if y'all misunderstand, I'm so sorry, but I know what it meant to me. I was lost, but I was happy. I had all the stuff I wanted to do. I'm serious. I was not a miserable sinner. See, some of y'all was miserable. I was lost. I admit I was lost. I was in darkness. But child, if I wanted it, I had it. I want your man, I took him too. But it's just the idea. I couldn't understand. Well, something wrong, because they'll call me Mickey. Mickey, somebody gave us some drugs, man. She going to church. I understand it. I just knew something came in. I'm telling y'all, it's like, it's a test. And what you can't talk about, if it's with a friend, your children, pray. And when you're living, hear me when I tell you, when you're living with somebody, I mean, when it's close, your mama, your husband, your friends, you can kind of like go on. But I mean, you have to go on. I had to literally live a life of being misunderstood for what I was doing for the marriage. And a lot of times when you being misunderstood and you got a wife and you got a husband that's doing something beneficial for the relationship, it got outside people whispering, man, you letting her, and man, she's spending your money, and man, and she ain't spending a dime of your dime. This is stuff we go through. Really. My heart goes out to you first ladies. I just look at y'all sometimes. Really, my sons was in them. I'm not no military wife. I can wait for you. I can do that. I can because I got a life. I can go on and find something to do to wherever you come, whatever. I went through that where I couldn't understand. I mean, because the Bible tells you, and y'all can talk about the Old Testament if you want. It tells you once you get married, you need at least a year. At least 2 years for you having a baby, 2 or 3. Because that's going to be a misunderstanding. Before you know it, you enjoy making it, and then he'd come in and won't holler, and then it's eating and drinking. Then the wife won't get you no more attention, and all you want is this. But it's life. It's not the devil. It's life. And you got to learn how to go on, and you need to realize that Job had somewhere, that boy had to discipline himself, that he never cursed God. Now he said some crazy things. I want to commit suicide. I'm dead, and I don't understand. Yeah, he went through that. But you see at the end, and the Lord turned the captivity of Job. Just get through this, and then the next one, and the next one. He that endure till the end. So this is just to help you to deal with how to respond to it and how to solve it. And if you need to go back and, but just, I've learned from me. I'm not saying you got to do it. You got to know God made you, and he made you, and he'll show you just like he's showing me. And you can learn from your mistakes. You can, sometimes if you're not careful, if you don't learn how to deal with a misunderstanding test, you can blow it. You can lose a good wife, good friends, good mother, your children. And I remember Mama. And Mama said, yeah, but see, first time you ain't want to go see her, you ain't liked her, couldn't stand her. And I've learned, my children love me, but I've learned that they're adults. They got to find their way. I kind of know the way, but it's going to be and I've learned how to deal with them and realize I want to enjoy you. I don't want something to happen to you and just say, I shoulda. I want to enjoy you. And it's not so much they don't love you and you don't love them, but we got to get through these, it's called a misunderstanding test. And the frustration test, oh, y'all don't want to stay there for a minute. That one right there, I might have to, I don't know why it keeps staying on me. But buy this book, I'm telling you, it will bless you. It will really, I don't know if you can, do I have it upside down? No, really. This book will bless you. Of all the tests and stuff that you'll go through. And the Lord just took me there, and it's just, wait 1 minute. The frustration test is really a test that you'll go through with people. circumstances and feelings and all that, whatever. Because some of y'all, I just knew this. Some of y'all might get frustrated when the Lord say, "This is time now to buy the house. This is time now to go get the car." Lord, you tell me, and then there's only right there. Because I tell y'all, I was just like, because it's like you can wait, and when it comes, God say, "Now is the time." You'll get so frustrated. You'll get so, how in the world? Where in the world? And Lord, I don't know. And I don't. And we keep thinking it's the devil, and we miss many opportunities. We don't know how to pass the test. I just hope I've said something. I know I hear some stuff for myself, really. But just practice the discipline of not having the last word. Because Job said a lot, and he repented, really. Practice the discipline of humility. Just really just lower your view some, like, because you worry yourself to death. I don't understand why it didn't work. I don't understand that. I mean, I literally, I remember when we had the bypass, and I was just thinking, and I didn't really, I said, okay, God, I said, let us have it at the school. And we cooked all this food, and nobody came. But I'm moving on. I mean, what I've done, I don't know. Some things you just have to learn to move on. And you have to discipline yourself. I don't have any answers. And many other people, oh, it was the devil. Oh, he shouldn't have done this. Job did. Be careful how you run your mouth and you're a friend to someone that's going through that. Job, you done something wrong. And I mean, if you read Job, you'll find this and maybe you saying something you haven't been. I don't know. But I know we're all going through. Why this? Why that? Really. Practice the discipline of wisdom. I thank the Lord how he gives me wisdom about some things. Everything don't need to be told. There are some things where God say, when you have faith, have it between me and you. That's the way God give it to you. You work it out that way. That's the way. Let's just get through this. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I love what I'm doing. I want to live it. I told God, do not let you use me to give all of this and I not take heed in my own life. And especially when you're a leader. And this book here would tell you, some of y'all, God making y'all to be leaders. Really. And just, God, we just thank God for his wisdom. If you need to talk to somebody, do that. There's times when I do talk. I feel the Holy Ghost say that's enough. Don't say nothing else. Really. I'm finding that the Lord is really blessing me in my spirit toward so much going on his Facebook. So much you leaders are doing and saying and doing. And I say, God, I want you to bless everything. Because it's something being a leader and the tithes and the this and the that, and you got to do this and you got to do that, and you got whatever. I say, you bless the hands. Whatever leaders have to do, whatever your people have to do. Really, because we kind of misunderstood. Why you? He made us different. And God knows I want to hear him say, well done. I want to hear God say, well done. I don't want to leave. I'm taking nothing with me. I don't want to leave this world. And just, Lord, you see the teaching? God, you see how you... He said, but I don't know you. Your life went shipwrecked when you were saving everybody else and didn't take heed to it yourself. So if you're going through misunderstanding with your children, with people, with your husband, with your wife, with your mother-in-law, father-in-law, uncle, aunt, because I went through some stuff. Y'all know, us living, we went through. I was called, a person sit outside, I don't know what you're doing this for, crazy, fixing up another man's place. Just sometimes ask the Lord to help you mind your own business. Really. Let's get through this. Let's get with your children, with you go on. They gonna catch up. I don't know where you're going to be at, but they're going to catch up. They're going to realize that, my daughter and I are the closest of friends. We just close. Was it always that way? No. Because there was times my daughter would say, who's this speaking? My mother or the preacher? And we had to part for a while because of the contention. But believe me, God is joined together. That's not only talking about marriage. I love my children. They love me. I respect them. We on different levels. They up, down. Go on and enjoy your life. I ain't worrying myself. Because one thing I know what the Bible says, truth goes from generation to generation. You will remember me. My grandmother, I know my grandmother been gone over 50, 60 some years. I know she has. I can still hear Gistine. Baby, when you do it right so you won't have to do it over again. That's for you. No, this is for you. This is going to help your life. It's going to help you to go on. So I appreciate you guys. Just need to go back and get some notes and thank Minister Thompson. I really appreciate you of really putting up scriptures and just helping. But God just wants you to get through a misunderstanding test. He wants you to really get to that, how to respond to it, how to keep your perspective, really. Don't dwell on it, and prayer does help. And it hurts. It's a hard burden to carry. It hurts. And if the prayer and the crying, then talk. Go and talk. And most of the time, the talking might not even free the person. Even if they give you a response or don't say nothing and you still feel the friction, feel it and move on. They'll catch up. And then sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Really, because Paul and Barnabas just had to part. There was sharp contention. Misunderstanding. So I ask that you guys keep your head up, stay in prayer, have honest prayer with God. Don't even try to, oh Lord, and I want you to, no, just go there and just tell him, I don't understand, but Lord, I want to be kept. Just and get through it. And if you dwell on it, it's like a sore, like I told you, it's trying to heal and you keep picking it. And I'm the type of person, if prayer don't do it, we gonna talk. We're going to talk. Really. And a misunderstanding person with a bad temper still won't understand you. Don't talk to me like that. Who you think? Well, wait a minute. Who you think you are? It hits relationships. Hello. It's just the idea. You're in relationship with your beautician. I went to the nail shop the other day. I'm going to share this with you. I went to the nail shop, and we've been out where, and my nails will grow, but they need stuff. So I went, and this lady done it, and it was so pretty. And I said, "Could you do that again?" She said, "Well, I have to cut your nails." She said, "I have to cut them." I said, "No, they're growing. Don't cut them." I said, "Well, what could I put on them?" And she was telling me this, what this stuff she put on it. So when she was putting it on there, and I knew that, they were getting ready to close. They had a long day, and so she said, "Well, what do you want?" And I was trying to sit there. So, and these people are, they from other countries. And all of a sudden, and let me tell you something about God. He'll let you discern some stuff. So all of a sudden, she said, I said, I don't want no color. She's like, I don't know. And they started talking. And I knew that they was, I said, wait a minute. I said, I do not understand everything that you say, but I understand some of it. She said, no. We was just talking about me cousin that fried chicken. You know what? Let me tell you something. Finish my nails, and I'm never coming back in here again. You ain't the only somebody do nails, honey. But you must understand, beautician, all y'all that working on people, they know what they want. They know. So stop sitting there. You're gonna lose it. I want to do it my way. Well, do it on your head. We go through this. And we're going to solve that. We're going to solve that right there. Really. We're going to solve that right there. I don't have to go there and be frustrated. And if I have to go back there and just take it, you don't know. But I know what I said. And then the Lord might tell me to take stuff right back. Well, he did, because when I got ready to leave, I was upset, and they was trying to be nice and everything. And I say, I'm not giving them no tip. And the Lord said, give them a tip. He said, bless your enemies. So I blessed my enemies. I blessed her, gave her a tip, and I walked out. It hits you. It's just life. Stop thinking it's a devil. It's tests. Okay? It's just tests you have to go through. So just really, just kind of realize. I don't know why, but I went to get the oil change in the car. And I told the people, I said, I'll be in the sitting room, the one where the TV is. And I'm just sitting there, and I took a nap. I mean, I kind of folded my pocketbook down, and it took me a little nap. And all of a sudden, I said, people not through with my car yet. I said, let me get up. I got up. Then my car was parked outside. And I said, and it was they were getting ready to close. And I said, well, these people just, they nobody called me or nothing. And I'm just like, and there they are, getting ready to close. I'm sitting in there taking a nap. All of a sudden, I looked on my phone, and they said, Miss Thompson, we're calling you because we're asking you to come get your car because we're getting ready to close. But number one, I was taking a nap, so I didn't get the thing. And number two, I walked out there. See, it's so much misunderstanding that can go on in our life that it ain't just church, it's life, And it cleared my mind up that I realized, just like we were saying, just really just kind of dwell on maybe what you've done or maybe what you understand and move on. The all change. I was able to wake up from that little nap and get my car and not go through life with this angry with somebody. I don't even know their name, but there's a misunderstanding. But they were trying to reach me. Okay? So guys, just really just take a good look at yourself and just see what's going on. And because God wants you to enjoy your life. He wants you with some peace. He wants you with some joy. He wants you to be able to go on and enjoy life. Be you. He made you. He will perfect those things concerning you. I just ask that you have a good day. Enjoy your life. Thank God we're here. Pray for one another. Pray for our president. I heard that his brother died. Let us move on. Pray as if it was you. Just... Hey. We'll understand it better by and by. I love you and appreciate you. Look forward to being with Pastor Shirley. Hope all is well with her, that we'll be able to sit and sup with her tonight between 8-ish, 8:30-ish. Anyway, but we've just been praying and holding her up in prayer. So, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for loving on me, taking your time to listen. Pray I've said something to help you deal with this test. And if the Lord will permit, we will go into other tests, the frustration test, the waiting test. There's a purpose for it. I love you and I appreciate you. Enjoy your day and your life. Until then.